Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pushpa from the Department of Commerce, Krishna Jayanti College. In this video lecture, we would be discussing about the training and its purpose. The training process included within this process is how organizations identify training needs and select methods, implement and evaluate training programs. Now, what is training? Training is the process of teaching employees the basic skills they need to perform their jobs or for developing additional skills. The firm's training programs must make sense in terms of company's strategic goals. For example, if one of the goals of the company is to expand its international market, then one of the things they may focus on is training their employees in multiple languages. Also, training is a part of the larger issue of performance management. This is an integrated, goal-oriented approach to assigning, training, assessing, and rewarding employees' performance. Managers set goals for their employees, and training is one of the ways an organization helps an employee meet those goals. Now, coming to the training process. The training process includes these steps. The first step, need analysis. Second, instructional design. The third step, validation. Fourth step, implementation. Last but not least, the fifth step, evaluation. It is important that each step in the process be completed thoroughly because each builds on the other. The more time and effort spent on the previous step, the better the next steps can be. Now, let's discuss in detail the steps. The first step, need analysis, identifies the training needs of an employee. There are two main ways of identifying those needs. They are through a task analysis and a performance analysis. Task analysis is a detailed study of a job to identify the specific skills required, especially for new employees. A task analysis record form can also be used with this purpose. The second type of need analysis is a performance analysis. The goal here is to verify if there is a performance deficiency and to determine whether that deficiency should be corrected through training or through some other means, such as transferring the employee. There are several methods that can be used to identify an employee's training needs. Includes degree performance, reviews, job-related performance data by supervising or other specialists, and test of things like job knowledge and skills. Coming to the second step, training methods. When beginning the discussion of what types of training methods to use, there are several methods. The tips to keep in mind to make the training more effective is meaningful learning, skill transfer, and motivation. First, the learning needs to be meaningful. Materials that is meaningful is usually easier for trainees to understand and remember. For example, it is important as the start of the training to provide a bird's eye view of the material to be presented. It is also valuable to use a variety of familiar examples and to organize the information so it can be presented logically and in meaningful units. Second, it is imperative to design the training to make it easy for the skills being learned to transfer from the training site to the job site. This can be accomplished by maximizing the similarity between the training environment and the work situation and providing time for adequate practice. It is also important to provide a heads up or some preparatory information that lets trainees know what problems or situations may occur on the job. Lastly, it is important to motivate the learner. This is easily done by defining for the learner why this training is important and how it will benefit them. People learn best by doing. So, provide as much realistic practice as possible, and allow them to learn at their own pace. Trainees also learn best when the trainers immediately reinforce correct responses. With this in mind, we will take a look at several different methods organization can use when designing their training. Depending on the situation, each method can be a valuable tool for teaching employees new skills and behavior. The training methods are of two kinds, on-job training and off-job training, which we will be discussing in the coming class under training methods. Now coming to the step 3, validation process. In order to determine a training validity, the company must test the training on a sample of employees to see if those who received the training have better performance on the job than those who did not receive the training. The sample process should be conducted on multiple groups to make sure the training is valid. Now coming to the fourth step, implementation. One of the easiest to do if all the previous steps have been done well. Now, we simply need to train the employees that need to learn this new skill or behavior. It is important to schedule the training at a time when the employees is fresh and that the training is broken down into small segments to lower the chance of fatigue. And now moving on to the fifth step, evaluation. Evaluating the training is the most overlooked step. In many instances, organizations will spend a lot of time and resources on the first 4 steps and then completely forget about what is arguably the most important part of the training process. The point is that it makes no sense for organization to spend hundreds and sometimes tens of thousands of rupees on designing a training program to not have any proof that the training actually has proven results. Organizations must have evidence that the training is effective and employee performance improves as a result of the training. There are 4 basic ways to measure training effectiveness. The first is reaction, learning, behavior, and results. Now let's look in detail. Measuring training effectiveness. The first is reaction. The first is the trainee's reaction to or perception of the training. Did they like it? Did they enjoy it? These reactions are very similar to the types of evaluations you complete at the end of every semester on your teacher. The second way is to measure the trainer's learning. This can be done by testing the individual's knowledge of the material covered. The third is the access the trainer's behavior. Are they using the skills or behavior they learned in the training in the actual work environment? And lastly, the organization should measure the results or outcome of a training. In other words, did those who participate in the training actually improve their job performance? To conclude, a well-structured training program is worth the required effort. So in today's class, we have discussed the basics of designing and implementing a training program. It is a complicated and time-consuming process, but in the end, a well-constructed training program is worth the effort, which must include all the above 5 steps. Thank you.